Mm.
It's working?
Did it like kick y'all out too?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I just left and I was like, yo, wait. We're probably gonna have to send an email to Reckendorf and be like, yo,
Thing turned off. So there are
you're
probably
gonna
two
get,
different recordings.
yeah, like you're gonna get two of them because yeah. What the? All right, everyone back, everyone good.
Yeah. Come on, if you're talking, you're on mute. Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah, all that. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so how can white Republicans better support African American Republicans in their efforts to address racial issues without being dismissive and undermining Black people's experiences and perspectives?
I need the question to be repeated,
Yeah, I was
please.
about to ask that. Hold up, say it again.
So, okay, basically, like, how can the white Republicans um, support the Black Republicans without like addressing like the racial issues and helping them out and like doing something for them without like undermining their like the Black experience, without forgetting the Black experience and making downplaying it.
Um, I feel by like white Republicans need to listen. I mean, I feel like politics as a whole, like a lot of people do things that people are like, why did you do that? No one wanted that at all. So like I think I mean the best way for people to listen and properly capture what's needed by that community is to actually listen to what they want. I mean like listen to what would drive them and persuade them to be able to like strive and be able to have opportunity and more opportunity with that. So like I feel like they would need to definitely just listen. I mean, open your ears, open your thoughts. Like don't stay. I feel like a lot of issue with a lot of politicians in general we see today is they have such a one way of thinking. Like they have like a single way of thinking mindset. Like they don't open their minds to like other opportunities to other like ways to deal with situations and like I don't know, they stay
Compromise.
very closed in their little box and they live in their little box and that's it.
Yeah.
Where I feel like if they would have listened to that community more, they could make a lot of headway. That's what they want. We're like integrating them in a way that doesn't dismiss them.
Ashley?
Come on. Yeah, I think I definitely agree. I think it's more because I don't really think that um a white Republican can necessarily like speak like just coming directly from them because they don't live like a Black lived experience. But they would more so have to listen about what people from the Black community want to be able to actually like speak on it. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be able to just automatically start throwing out ideas like what could better the community when they've never lived it. You know what I mean? So I think it would definitely have to be more so what Aiden was saying about listening and about compromise.
And actually, I guess I kind of want to add a little bit too, because I do know we do have to somewhat tie it to the book. I think
Mhm.
I think that like on what we're talking about how like they talk about like African American Republicans that are color conscious. I feel like could be a good segue into being able to listen more because they have more of a like awareness of what is actually wanted within that community. Um, where was I just looking? Oh my God, my reading guide just went down. Okay, give me one second, pull that back up. General idea. I think they could be a good segue in actually like doing it more, practicing it more than just. I have another question if y'all are ready, when y'all are ready to move on.
Mhm.
So this one kind of pertains to, I think, chapter two. I kind of screwed up my table. I think it's chapter two. Um, and I wrote, African American Republicans have to navigate the pressures of alienation from white Republicans and hostility from other African Americans with differing views that are typically within like the Democratic Party. How do you think this impacts the challenges of political identity within the US?
Like overall identity or the identity of Black Republicans?
I think the identity of Black Republicans.
I think it's like every man for themselves. Because like I mean there's already a divide that is wanted in the Black community, first of all. So then for it to be in politics, that makes it much worse for it to be a divide, even in the same party.
Mhm.
Because I feel like um a lot of them have common goals. Especially reading this, a lot of them do have common goals. They just all want to do it different ways, or they want to you have some of them that want to just, you know, kiss up to the white people, knowing that they're not going to get anywhere with the white people wanting, you know, to move forward with the Black, you know, empowerment. But like, yeah, everybody just has different views. I mean, they have the same view, just different executions, and that's what stops
Mhm.
everybody because they feel like they can't work together. Everybody gotta be separate.
I think with Black Republicans, though, I feel like there is some difficulty, especially with the colorblind side, with that kind of alienation, especially from other Black people from the Democratic Party or just from the left in general, those who might even just claim to be center, but don't align themselves with Republicans. I feel like they're gonna continue to experience that push, just from themselves as well as like in the book they seem to have some type of like deep seated self-hatred or racism or just like frown upon their own community, with the way they describe many individuals and kind of generalize or stereotype. Um, so I think they'll continue to experience that alienation. I feel like their identity will continue to be kind of at odds. I don't know. Because a lot of their ideas seemed to feel like they're formed from some type of experience or place that is not um good. I'm just gonna say good. I don't have like a better conclusion. I'm not gonna point towards any specific direction. Like yeah. It doesn't seem like it stems from a good place or from like a well intentioned, maybe color conscious, but I feel like there's some misguidance. Mm,
Yeah, kind of going off what you were saying, how the Black community can, Black Republicans specifically, can experience a lot of hatred from their own people. It is kind of crazy to me because like even though they do swing another way, um, I guess obviously they have their critiques, but the way it was also like represented in the book, it made it seem obviously they refer to them as like as sellouts. Like it was another part of chapter two. A term that he had introduced to us was a term like sellouts, and basically that if you were a Black Republican, you never really supported, like you were trying to get away from the Black community and everything. Um,
and that is what it seems like for some of them. They genuinely don't want to be a part of the Black community. Like,
yeah,
I'm not with y'all. I'm not on the
yeah,
corner slinging dope.
Love
I'm
y'all. I
not living
promise
off
you.
welfare
yeah.
checks.
I'm up here,
I'm
y'all.
a humble Christian.
Yeah, y'all down here. Yeah, it's yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of crazy to me because regardless, like they can say that, but at the end of the day, like they're still Black. You know what I mean? Like it's still like they're not above nobody. You know what I mean? And but in their
Yeah.
head, like they like can perceive it that way.
Yeah, because even like the one quote in chapter two where he was like, "It's hard to forget you're Black in a room full of white people." You can say that, yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to forget, but they seem to forget. Even if you step outside of that white room, you just somehow just forgot that you have a skin color that is very, dark, and they lose like so much sight and traction from that. And they're like, yeah, like, we're above this. I don't have to go through what you're going through. So I'm going to focus on what's going to better me and my peers. And I feel like that's what a lot of them, like the way they look at life.
Yeah, because I mean, it does say in the book on page 38 that African American Republicans believe that they know something no one else does, essentially saying that they think they're special because they have something else that doesn't come naturally to other people, well,
Mm-hmm.
or other Black people, which is kind of like, like like it's just like I guess the way they see it.
Yeah,
Right.
like basically, and it's. I mean, I kind of agree in a sense where, like, because I feel like once I get up there, like, I'm not gonna ever forget because I have peers that are, going through basically like some of the stereotypes that Black people are
Mhm.
facing, but um, I feel like I never lose sight of that due to the fact that like it's gonna always be around you, like even like being in Richmond, like being on that street where the Capitol is, there's hella homeless people over there, and prostitutes and different people. So they don't it's not gonna just go away because you get into a higher spot. It's never gonna go away. And you're always still gonna somehow see it. It's just all about like, they're turning I feel like, like a lot of Black Republicans, they're turning a blind eye to it. That's like that's just what it is. Anybody got any other questions?
Chester, do you have any questions?
I probably have a question for chapter 5. Um, with a lot of the Black Republican organizations in relation to that. I asked, does their collective doomed failure point towards a larger system that limits their voices, or is it by the cause of individuals within the system?
Say that first part again.
Wait, say that one more time. Yeah.
So like, does the collective doomed failure of a lot of these Black Republican organizations trying to at least get started, or even when they're like, got I don't know, like the NBRA, for example, and the kind of like butting heads of the different members. And what I said about that was, does this kind of collective doomed failure, it's almost as if it's inevitable with the different ideas or views of Black Republicans, as well as that, like I said earlier, I feel like there's a deep-seated racism or self-hatred within a lot of them. But does that doomed failure point towards a larger system that limits their voices, or is it caused by individuals within the system, such as the Black Republicans themselves or white Republicans, or just anyone for that matter?
I think if I understand your question, I think it might be an individual um thing because I mean, honestly, people, a lot of Black people, they have a self-hatred. So then like even I think it was somewhere in the book where they were like, yeah, if you do enough research and you really educate people, they're gonna turn Republican. A lot of the Black community will turn Republican. And yeah, I feel like it might be a self-hatred thing and it might be a self-inflicted thing. It might not be a collective. But yeah, because it all goes back to like their own morals and values.
I was again, if I understand the question correctly, I think it could be a little bit of both, institutional and individual, in the sense that I think that historic past institutions that did kind of like silence is that how you put like silence those like thoughts and like beliefs?
Yeah.
So like I think that there were like past institutions that did silence like the African American community, which like I feel like still has like an undertone in today, but not like in the sense that like people are like physically silencing them in the sense that like I mean it happened. And I think from that there kind of plays into like now there's these new modern like the MBRA and the RBE like I think that like the fails of them now come from like I guess the people that maybe have believed in the silencing that are like in the MBRA there's a it talks about being overwhelmingly white and it's like how many of those people kind of like underlying support like or like low key racist and are there because it's a conservative event and how much of that is still silencing voices while also kind of creating that divide and creating failure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
Because it's
I
probably a
think I
vague
would.
question. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, dude, I totally cut you off. It was on me. It's on me.
No, I wasn't even really trying to say anything. It was just that it was a kind of vague question. It was meant to kind of allow thought to linger.
Hmm.
Okay, I think I have another question, I guess, about chapter 5 as well. So you know how he talks about obviously like the inorganic or and organic organizations in this chapter and everything, and how like the unsuccessfulness of some organizations. What strategies do you think that Black Republicans could create to endure more political organizations and like mobilize their base?
That's crazy. I literally have like almost the same question. I just haven't shared it yet.
Oh, sorry.
No, no, that's so fun. I just think that's so funny. I like have like the same question for that. Um, I need to think on that one for a second. I'm gonna be real. I wrote it at like 2 in the morning.
Okay.
I don't even think I had like a full answer for it.
Um, I feel like a smart strategy is reaching to like I wouldn't say the lower class. You could try, but it's gonna be way harder. But reaching to like the middle class for starters. And if you can get down to the lower class, that'll be amazing. But get down to those classes and like not focus really on like the upper class for a second. Like just forget they exist for a second and just like go down and really get the real issues. Cause like of course like we have generalizations, but like there's actually deep rooted issues that like that can fix certain things. Like damn. My bad, y'all. But yeah, I feel like there's always gonna be like deep rooted issues that, like politicians, they're gonna say that they listen to, but like in order to listen, you have to actually act on it. You can't just write it down and then discard the paper in the trash when nobody's looking. You have to actually like, okay, meet with those people, form some type of organization where y'all can actually carry out those things, like you get a lobbyist and lobby these bills that you want from the actions that are in the organization. Yeah, it's just a lot you have to go through, I feel.
No, I definitely agree. And I think outreaching to like urban communities too would be super beneficial for like kind of sustaining collective action within like that community. But like you said, I do feel like you also I think the hard part with doing any sort of like kind of organization is I guess getting people to actually follow through. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So I feel like enabling or giving, let's think of a way to word this.
Maybe
Is
giving
like
incentive.
reaching, say again?
Maybe giving incentive. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Along the lines of that. It's like giving incentive or like letting people reach out to you. Because I feel like if you push and prod at too many people to organize, then they're just gonna like be disinterested in organizing. So yeah, I guess a solution would be to like give incentive for people to come out and be as organized to, you know, build and sustain that collective action I was talking about. But yeah, I think like I do definitely agree with what you said. Outreaching to the middle class, eventually like reaching lower than to be able to pull in uplift those people would be, I mean, massive.
And
It'd be great.
reaching to like the lower class, like already like the real like the lower class, the ones that are facing poverty, they're gonna want some help, but like they're not gonna believe everybody. They're still gonna like have somebody to blame. And I mean, it's not a generalization, but it's like a still like a it's just like some things are just real. But I feel like personally, what you would have to do to prove to people that you are trying to help is like some of the generalized things that people have asked for in this community and just to be equal, period. So if you get those things passed and you get them in action, people are going to start believing you and be like, yeah, like, okay, this organization is helping us. They're not just, just trying to profit. They're actually helping us. So,
Hmm.
yeah, you would have to actually do something before, like basically like have the good credentials.
Yeah, because if you just try to be like, hey, we're gonna help you, and then like people are gonna be like, no, you're not. Because
Yeah.
like I feel like a lot of like what you see is like I mean, these people have gone through like, I mean, shit. Like they have gone through it. So like I feel like it's they want to stay guarded because if someone's like, I'm gonna help you, their first thought would be like, is this person actually trying to take advantage of me? So
Mhm.
like being able to prove that positive credential first and being like, no, like we're seriously here to like uplift you and like help you get out of this would be
Yeah.
huge, a really good way to outreach to that type of community. But like again, I also do feel like there's also gonna be people that just don't want help,
Yeah.
regardless of how much you try to offer it. And like at the end of the day, you can't force help down someone's throat. It'd be like, take my money. Or I mean, not necessarily, but like you know what I mean. You can't just like force someone to like let you help them.
Yeah.
There's that, but I also do think that there are, I guess, like the seeds put in place in a lot of those lower income communities or even like lower middle class communities. As you'll find individuals, it seems like ever since COVID, you'll find individuals who might not outright kind of claim or put themselves on the right, but they do support like Trump or the Republican Party, and it's because of that. Um, those stimulus checks that were sent out, and then when you put that in comparison to when Democrats are in office with gas prices and inflation, and they're like, I don't know much about politics. All I know is that gas is high, and when Trump was in office, I got that stimulus check.
And
So
guess
I feel like it's kind of there. They do kind of have the things to work with, at least like Black Republicans. They're trying to get organized. I think they have the like I said, like the seeds or the seedlings there to actually like become more organized or to expand more. It would just be about tapping into those communities and knowing how to
yeah.
incentive, and trying to convince them that they can actually help.
Yeah, definitely. Does anybody else have any questions? We got 10 minutes. Let me see.
Let me see if
Um,
I totally think I might have another one, but what did I
what did you guys say? Like, for the question, what question was it? Question 3 about like what do you think he would say about the way Black Republicans and Black Democrats engage with Black voters and Black media about Black. Oh my gosh, so many Black. I didn't realize that about a Black candidate in the run up to last month's election. Would you guys say to answer it?
I touched on because we were talking about like the Harris campaign, right? And
Mhm.
like how we would how it so okay, I put that like her being a woman of color kind of like I think could have proved useful as a symbol of like a symbol and like of progress or like representation of African American and like women. But in the context of like the book per se, that might not be the case because like the people that like don't where did I put what are the exact words? The like the colorblind Republicans like would not see that because they don't see race as a like substantial issue. They just see it as like an identity of like, or not even an identity, just like a characteristic of who you are rather than having that identity. So, I mean, Harris portraying her like trying to appeal to that group, I feel like wouldn't really be as useful because like they don't see that as big of an issue where they see policy as more of a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think kind of going off what you were saying, I feel like he was well, like as an author would say that um Black Democrats would most likely see her like as a power symbol, while like you were saying because of like color blindness that Black Republicans just may not be as accepting overall because like you said they don't really like to put much into their race but more so into like characteristics.
Hmm. And like double off of that, like, and this is more along the idea of gender rather than race, but like a
Mhm.
lot of people that have conservative values, like old conservative values, still don't really believe in the idea of suffrage to the fullest extent. So like it kind of like I feel like could double down. And like those are like the older traditional like I mean old heads, but
Yeah, because even now, like, can you wait? Can you wait though? Yeah. My bad. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like with the conservative values, like a lot of people, even now, like I know people that still have those values of like they're disgusted by the like they're still pro what is it, pro life.
Mhm.
Um they still got the values of like, wanting, the old American dream. They want a traditional life, the whole like, tradition like man in the house, man working, woman in the house, kids, you know, just keep producing. But I don't know. I feel like it's just hard. It's times are changing. But I feel like up there in like the government, they're just in denial. They're in the denial phase of their life. And it's hard to get out that phase when you've been in that phase for so long. So yeah, I feel like, once a lot of people get out of those conservative views, they won't think the same. And shoot, probably people will lean more Democrat than Republican. Because I mean, like when if we're being real, like the whole Democrat Republic thing, like it wasn't supposed to be the way it is, like as divided as it is now. It wasn't supposed to be as divided like that. Like there was still some type of like congruence between the two, but now it's like so divided. And even with the Republicans, like the way that a lot of them swing, like some people didn't even vote Republican, they voted Democrat because of like they're losing traction for what the Republicans actually stand for. And they're, making it weird. So yeah.
Also like in that question when they like where it's asked like oh how black meaning how does Black media like feel about a Black candidate in the run up to last month elections or whatever. I think also something that people would focus on would be how some people focus on her being like a Black woman, like I said, like the symbol that she would represent, but others would also just focus on the achievements of her career while not actually just looking at the color of her skin as well.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to, I think Black media and how they saw Kamala Harris, it feels as if some of the critiques that I think Trump was making, not that they were valid critiques or good critiques, critiques that he himself should even be making. It feels like some of that could be found in some of the Black media covering Kamala Harris and her, I guess, running for president. But I also just think that she wasn't very appealing, even though I think she definitely does what she, I guess, represents as a symbol is definitely powerful and I think very meaningful. She herself just wasn't that appealing. And I feel like she lost the opportunity to connect through a lot of economic policy. I don't know. Just
I feel like
wasn't the most ideal candidate, probably personality wise. And I feel like as a character, I don't know, there isn't as much of that symbol that I think Obama represented back in what 2008. That symbol of hope or for change. And he also just seemed like a very honest stand-up guy, and I feel like that made him very appealing to a lot of Black Americans.
yeah, I feel like with her, like for one, she was under Biden and she still is currently under Biden. So like she couldn't really say like, you know, like everybody was like, oh, like if everybody ran or whatever, like they could say like, oh yeah, like the economy is shit right now. Like, you know, what I'm gonna do is da, da, da. Like she couldn't really say that because then they'll be like, oh, you're going back on your president and you're VP. So like, are you loyal? And like, it just would have been Hillary like all over again, but worse probably because it's more inside the country. But yeah, I feel like she ain't have the advantage that she could have had. Like if she were to sit here, like if Biden was to sit here and remove himself, and then she step up and become president before the it was time for elections. If all that would have happened, she would have had more to say, I feel. But I feel like she was held back from a lot of things that she wanted to say. That's like if if your parent is, like in front of a crowd or whatever, and like they're not doing the best, but you gotta sit here, and still represent them the best you can, but without, but still stepping out on your own. It's just really hard. So yeah.
I think that's definitely true. I think again, I feel like she just wasn't the most ideal candidate. Not that she is a bad one or a terrible one, but I think that does play into like it wasn't the best circumstances. I think she didn't have the best cards to play with as well. So
Yeah. Well, overall, it was a good book.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to just share like, I guess like the last question now, the how many stars we would have given, just like a brief explanation real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ashley. You go first.
Oh my God. All right. I said, overall, I say that I give this book like a 4 out of 5 stars. I think that that it provides like a good exploration of Black Republicans in America, a group that is often dismissed. I think he gives a good like analysis of personal beliefs and expectations, and he explained how his like ideology of how race can intersect with political ideology. I think that's analyzed really well. As far as his like writing style goes, I feel like it was easy to read, but also was like engaging for I guess people like academic scholars and everything. I do feel maybe some of his um what's it called? I guess the way he taught maybe it'd be confusing if you didn't know like at all what he was talking about. But like it's not also like too confusing, like a textbook type thing. I feel like it's also like pretty general to like just someone trying to get more educated. I think he does a good job of explaining like complex subjects without oversimplifying them as well, but still kind of like taking away from like the actual meaning of them. I think does like a good job overall doing that. Um, I don't know. Yeah, well, I guess I also said that something that he could improve on that he might want people to tell more like personal stories and guess instead of like theoretical perspectives as well, just to feel like more like connected, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say like I'll give the book a 5. I won't mad at it. Like I would actually read this on my own. Like I would take more time to actually read that. Like I would actually care for it. But yeah, like it always did. Like it hit. I'm saying like that introduction was a great introduction, and the first chapter, like it just really set the tone for me. So like I felt it was gonna really be a good book, and so yeah, he did a good job, and it was very modern. I liked it, and it wasn't like too not understanding. Like it was easy to understand.
Yeah, I'd say I'd give it like a 4 or 5. Um, I thought it was super clear and like super explanatory with the use of examples in a real world application was like really nice to actually like kind of exemplify the topics and like things being discussed. Um, I do think like I think y'all touched on it at the beginning. I personally felt like it did kind of repeat itself here and there, like some of the topics or ideas, but like I don't want to like dock it too much because it's like that was what the book was about. So it was like you need to bring up those topics because they all work in relation with each other. So it wasn't like repetitive in the sense of like, oh my God, we're talking about this again. It's just like the topic specifically piggybacks off of each other in a very complex way. Yeah, I thought it was good. I liked it.
Last but
Oh,
not least.
I I'd say I enjoyed the book. I gave it a 4 out of 5, maybe 4.5 if you want to get very technical and specific. But yeah, I enjoyed the analysis of Black Republicans. I don't know, I enjoyed the breakdown of thought and I guess the division of thought and kind of what leads them to that place. I enjoyed how honest it was. I feel like pretty unbiased as I feel like it explored the contradiction of what it means to be a Black Republican and how race kind of plays into the identity or how it may not or how it really does in the end, as well as I think allows the reader to kind of sympathize with them in the end, which I really did enjoy. Like again, I feel like that makes it kind of unbiased. Like they are a voice that does matter. It very much is like an interesting topic, I think. Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Does it just automatically send it to her?
It does. I'm actually about to shoot her an email and let her know that our thing got split into 2 sessions. So she knows it doesn't like dock points or anything.
Okay.
Was yeah, never mind, I found it. Yeah. You all excited for Christmas?
Sorry, that's so random. Yeah.
I know.
He said, "Let me break the tension."
Yeah, let me break it real quick.
Let me break it real quick.
Yeah, I'm going on a cruise next week.
Oh, damn.
It's bougie. It's bougie.
Girl, whatever.
I'm gonna be in my living room for Christmas. Oh,
I'm about to be asleep. I'm still, bro. I'm
Let
gonna
us
be real with
sleep.
y'all. I'm in my bed still. I literally woke up 5 minutes before this thing started and was like,
I did
I
too.
actually like had a panic attack because I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I totally slept past 9:30, and it was like 9:25, and I was like, oh my God.
That's how like my thing was like at 9:27 because I was like I woke up at 9 because I had my alarm set for 9 o'clock, but I was like, I can sleep a little longer. So then I slept all the way to like 9:27. I got up like so fast. I was like, did I just miss it? Did I miss it? And it was only 9:27. So yeah, that's why I texted y'all because I was like, oh shit. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm gonna be real. I actually like just finished the book report or the guide like last night.
Yeah,
Like
we,
what?
we all because me
We
and
all did.
we were on the phone like, and we were like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna finish. But
I don't think I'm gonna finish.
literally like, and then I was trying to like go into mine because I had accidentally exit out, and then I think I had went into yours, Aiden, and I was like,
Mhm.
how am I able to see Aiden's? And then I was able to see like Alejandra's, and then Tamia's, and then everybody, and I was like, dang, like
She was able to see everybody.
I was like, hold on, I'm trying to just go to mine.
That makes so much more sense. I saw people popping into my dock and I was like, how are you on my dock right now? I was like, I thought this was private.
I thought it was private too. I thought when you make it a copy, it's gonna be private.
I didn't see that, but like, Kamaya could see everybody's, but I couldn't see nobody else's. I was like,
I got
what?
scared because I was like, I don't want them to think like I'm just looking at their stuff trying to get ideas. I'm just trying to get mine. I can't find mine.
That's what I told her. I
You
was
know
like,
what's
get out of it real quick before they think that you're doing something like being nosy.
No, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I saw you pop into mine and like you were there for a second and I was writing and I literally went down 2 spaces and put hi with a bunch of exclamation points.
She probably didn't see that part.
And I was trying to hurry up and get the hell out. I was
Oh,
like,
it was so
shit.
funny.
That's funny.
But all right, you guys.
All
All
right,
right.
gotta get to work. Gotta
You
get
did
to work.
great.
Oh, good luck. Good luck. Nah, peep this real quick before we dip. I have 2 jobs. My second job is in Richmond, but I live 45 minutes away. That's why I am late every class because I drive in. I gotta drive
Me
45
too.
minutes.
Me too.
You feel that?
Where
It's
you could wait? Where you
awful.
commute from? 45 minutes, like up or the
Kind of.
area?
I live out in Alet in King William.
I don't know where that's at.
Yeah,
I live in
exactly.
Chester. I live in
Oh,
Chester.
yeah, no, you get it though. That God, the drive
Traffic
in is brutal.
drive is insane. Yeah, that's why I'm always late. I feel like you would
Yeah,
be on time though, because I know you would see me being late or just
nah, because it was like 1 or 2 minutes late because I'd always leave just a little bit late. Oh, damn. And then it would like, and I was like, damn.
I feel like
But
after
like,
everybody was just like, forget it. After they hit that 2.5, it was like, nah, man, it's fine.
that's what I did too.
yeah,
Yeah, after you hit that 2.5, we're like, yeah.
at that point, man, I'll just
At
show up
that
late.
point, exactly.
I'm just trying to get to class at that point. Never mind.
No, dude.
But alrighty, y'all.
But all right.
Y'all are beautiful people. Yeah, good luck with y'all next semester.
Yeah, good luck, y'all.
Y'all too.
Happy
Bye, guys.
holidays.
Same to you guys. Bye.
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 Like